Welcome to my YouTube channel where I discuss cricket. Today's subject is Was I right or was I right? Pakistan's bowling, pretty bad, isn't it? Um, Yesterday, Pakistan bowled to a team that was batting at 280 odd for three on a lively pitch that had a lot for the bowlers. The 280 odd came on the backs of an unbeaten 200 plus run partnership which had already more or less broken the back of the bowling attack, which had until then taken 70 runs, three wickets at the around 70 runs, and should have had 70 something for four. Henry Nichols, who eventually scored 150 plus runs, 157, I think, should have been caught. Should have had a duck. Did not have a duck. Had 157 runs. If it wasn't for a no ball and then a drop catch at Gully. Anyways, Henry Nichols and Kane Williamson came out to bat again, and from 280 something for three, they made sure that their team scored 650 some odd runs at the loss of only six wickets. Son scored 238, Henry Nichols 157, and then Darrell Mitchell scored 100 as well. Williamson and Nichols basically took the oxygen out of the bowlers, and then Darrell Mitchell put the bowlers, treated them like a horse on a pinata, just banged them, just destroyed them. Embarrassing stuff. What makes it really embarrassing is that everyone knows that on that pitch, if a bowling attack leaks more than 300 runs, they probably had an off day. They probably would give themselves a B minus. If you give more than 450 runs, you had a terrible day. I mean, you did really bad on that bowling on that pitch. If you give more than 650 runs, that is a serious issue. I don't care where we are in terms of rebuilding, where we are in terms of what we have done in the past. I don't care about the context. To give that many runs on that kind of pitch doesn't happen. You give those many runs on a dead pitch if you don't have experienced bowlers who can reverse swing the ball and make the ball talk on flat wickets. That's fine. But this is what's so painful as a fan of Pakistan cricket watching this match. It's not the case that we haven't had teams which underperform or we haven't had teams that get dominated by the opposition. Uh, but what hasn't ever really happened before is a team that does so poorly on a pitch that is actually assists the bowlers. 650 odd runs on a pitch that really is 200 something kind of a average batting pitch. I mean, there's a lot of value for good play, for good stroke making, but you should be able to take wickets regularly on that pitch. Great batting, maybe you don't take a single wicket in a session, but really you should be able to take one to two, 3 to 4 wickets every session on that pitch. Really embarrassing stuff. So, who is to be at fault for this surreptitious decline of Pakistan's bowling? I made a reference to Mohammad Amir's issues with the management in my last video on Pakistan cricket, and I argued that the issue with Amir extends beyond Amir per se. It is an issue of the lack of a fast bowling pack in Pakistan's cricket. We haven't had one fast bowling pack since the retirement of Wasim and Waqar after Pakistan's ouster from the 2003 World Cup. Now we're in a position where we kind of had been trying to develop a fast bowling pack of Abbas, Shaheen Shah, and Naseem Shah, but they are under immense scrutiny. Shaheen Shah has at least bowled well and taken some wickets, has created some chances, has seemed to have some kind of pace and liveliness in his bowling. The other two have done not too well at all. Abbas has just looked not very threatening, but nevertheless, some level of discipline he definitely has. And Naseem looks completely off the rails, giving more than 5 runs an over. He gave Labayar 140 plus runs and 25 overs of bowling. That is some very amateur stuff. That is the kind of stuff you expect from a 17-year-old, but you did not expect that from a 17-year-old with as much hype as he has coming into Pakistan's cricket team. His bowling pace has declined. His action seems to not have that smoothness, that repetitiveness that most people really thought it would. And many fingers and concerns are being directed at Fakar Yunus. um, who has had a history or definitely a reputation for severing trust in older, more mature, more accomplished players at the expense of having control over younger players and dictating to them the way he wants them to bowl. He comes across as a coach who likes to only coach people who can be beneath him and who can respond to his commands with, yes, sir, which is not a good sign of a coach. It's a sign of someone who likes to control. A coach likes to grow players, and for that growth to take place, you have to have a healthy distance from the players. You have to develop a relationship with the players rather than dictate the players what to do. Dictating, giving commands are not a sign of a relationship. To the contrary, they're a sign of a lack of relationship, a lack of professional relationship between a tutor and a student. So I think it is a very not so crazy thought anymore to say Waqar Younis probably needs to be relieved from the position of a bowling coach. It doesn't look good. Definitely the investments that they made in Naseem Shah at the expense of giving a debut to someone like Tabish Khan, who, say what you want to say about his pace. He's taken more than 500 wickets. He would have probably understood that on those New Zealand pitches, you have to let the ball come out of your hands in a very kind of like a smooth manner. You cannot bang the ball onto the pitch. You let the ball roll out of your hands the way you hit a jump shot in basketball match. You got to let that ball roll out so that it goes and it swims in the air. It moves a little in the air. It does something after pitching. Tabish Khan would have known that. Maybe he wouldn't have been as successful as Kyle Jamieson, but he would have at least been as successful, and maybe if not as successful, to some semblance of success of a Tim Southee. Maybe Sohail Khan should have been bowling as well. He again would have had some semblance of success similar to Tim Southee. You have, in other words, bowlers in your team, in your country who have some experience, who actually understand the art of bowling, the art of reading a pitch, knowing what to bowl, how to bowl, when to bowl, what lengths to bowl, what lines to bowl, what pace to bowl at, how to set up a batsman, how to contain runs, how to not let batsmen rotate strikes, how to not give away a freebie ball, not let them cut the ball, how to read the batsman, what is the batsman expecting from you, and things like that. Our bowlers don't have that. Again, it's one thing to give away 600 plus runs at the loss of 6 wickets when the pitch is flat. It's another thing to do that when the pitch has so much aliveness, and then to make it even worse, to do it when the opposition was 70 for 3, which revealed to everyone that on this pitch you should be able to get a team out for 200, maybe 180, maybe 250, worse 300 plus. 650 plus for 6 is inexcusable to say the least. So I think Waqar has to go. But other than that, I really don't know how do you fix problems with Pakistan's cricket team, because it seems like that Shoaib Akhtar is 100% right in his assessment of what is happening to Pakistan's cricket team. According to him, the issue is not the players, the issue is the management, because the management and the PCB's hierarchy that elects the management like to have diminutive players who can acquiesce to the commands being given to them, as opposed to players who have the character and the personality and the confidence to go out there and express themselves like artists, like the players we have accustomed to know and to see growing up watching Pakistan's cricket. These bowlers do not have a presence to them. They look too diminutive. They look too flabbergasted by the side of Kane Williamson. They look like they don't belong in the same arena as Kane Williamson. Um, and all of that is not just some kind of conspiratorial, anxiety-ridden, dismissive analysis. I mean, you have data like the audio clip of Naseem Shah telling Abbas while on strike that please rotate the strike and give me the strikes so that I can hit a couple of fours. Otherwise, I would get scolded by the management. That's not a good sign. This is a kid who's supposed to bowl 140 plus clicks. This is the kid who's supposed to go there and assert himself against opposition's batsmen, ruffle them a little, make them become a little unbalanced on the crease, make them have to fend off balls, hit the ball on their gloves, hit the ball on their grill, hit the ball on their chest and their shoulders and their arms, make them feel the velocity of a cricket ball coming towards you. He, on the other hand, is talking about fearing being scolded by the team management. That's not a good sign. That's not a sign of a fast bowler. Um, so clearly, there is a problem of leadership in Pakistan's cricket. There is an inability to understand what coaching even entails. They are commanding people rather than guiding people. There is no relationship, it seems like, between the coach and the player, and everyone seems insecure of their job. Misbah should be insecure. Is he going to be the coach? Who knows? Wakar, is he going to be the bowling coach? Who knows? Naseem Shah, is he going to be fast bowling, playing 11 on the tour of South Africa? Who knows? This team is breaking apart. It's about to hit the bottom. Uh, I don't have many solutions, but I do have some hope, which comes from the Qaeda Azam Trophy, in which Hasan Ali played one heck of an innings, coming into bat at number 8. His team is staring at a defeat because the team is trailing by 140 some runs. They're 140 runs away from the target with only 4 wickets in hand. 200 and some for six, chasing about something 350 score. And Hassan Ali hits clean sixes, slog sweeps the ball, plays really a blinder of an innings, 60 some balls, 100 runs. It is a tied match. Last man gets out with scores even. Just a great match, great fifth day match. So our domestic cricket seems to be on the up. There seems to be some high quality batting and bowling and even fielding, I would say, in that format, that level of cricket. So we need some players definitely from that level to come and wake up the current team from its slumber. I would expect and hope minimum 4 changes to the batting, to the tour, to the side that they select for the tour of South Africa. The one name that jumps right off the head is Hasan Ali. I think he needs to bat at number 6 and number 8 for Pakistan as well. He's a great six-down batsman. He's a good bowler. He has the aggressive presence on the crease that most of these other bowlers lack. Shaheen Shah needs to be persisted with. He's a good bowler. But Naseem probably needs to spend more time in the domestic scene. So who else to be replaced? I don't know. I don't know what you do with the opening spot. I don't see anyone banging on the door for the opening spot. So I guess you got to continue with Abid Ali and Shan Masood, whether or not you like them or not. I mean, they did well in Pakistan. You just hope they do well again. And if they don't do well again, then I guess there's going to be enough uh, scores of not much distinction to be able to drop them. But that would be sad as well because we've never really had a solid pair at the top of the order. Other than that, hope that Azhar Ali keeps playing well, hope that Fawad Alam keeps playing well, hope that Rizwan keeps playing well, and hope that Babar Azam comes back and gives some more quality to the batting. But Pakistan's batting right now is Pakistan's strength, unfortunately. Our bowling is close to hitting rock bottom. How do they come out of it? I do not know, but Hasan Ali is definitely needed big time. So, with that, I predict a massive loss today against New Zealand. I hope the game goes to day 5. Definitely not going to be able to save it. You can't bat 2 days. Even if the pitch is flat, it's hard to bat for 6 sessions. That's too many sessions you can to bat out. So I hope it goes to 4 sessions. I hope they bat out again other 120 plus overs. I hope they score something like 380 runs and make New Zealand come out to bat again. Have to score some 20 odd runs, lose this test match by 10 wickets maybe, and not an innings. Hope to see 100 from someone on that in that batting order. But very, very disappointing stuff. Pakistan needs presence on the pitch. They're not getting that, most probably because of the management. Shoaib Akhtar is probably correct in his assessment that the management and the PCB hierarchy is the problem. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.